Shock-a-doodle-doo! Well, would you look at that, it's an arbitrary day of an arbitrary year, which must mean it's time for another reiteration / minor reboot of the Transformers franchise, featuring a fistful of familiar characters with a mildly updated aesthetic. You lucky people, it's 2018 and it's Transformers Cyberverse, which as I understand it is a sort of attempt to amalgamate all the disparate versions of our favourite robots in disguise into a sort of evergreen catch-all mass appeal Roboglob, with design cues from like G1, RID, IDW, Animated, Universe 08 apparently, and the one where Grimlock had a weirdly upsetting mouth. And it's all early days yet, but I hear there's going to be an animated series of 11-minute episodes released online, because those are always great. But ultimately, as always, it's all in service of the toys. Beautiful, existence-validating toys. So join me today for a cheeky single-eye squint at Cyberverse Shockwave. Yes, indeed, this little shock-sucker was the first Decepticon to hit the pegs, along with Starscream and the usual Autobot headliners. And he seems like kind of a statement of intent. Like, yes, we're doing a bit of G1, calm it. But clearly, the priority here is fun. Check out this little violent tchotchke. He is just incorrigible. I mean, he's got crazy poise, he's furious fun to pose, and he's never not mad as hell. So check out his fresh new styles, all jaggedy and chunky. It's all very techno-future, and it's just friggin' electric. I'm definitely feeling a kind of RID vibe here with his squat hexabod, the neat blockbustery chest pattern, and these sweet pink cyber veins. I sort of appreciate that they didn't let the pink overwhelm the purple like it so easily could have. Like, it's definitely there, but it's conceptually consistent. Consisteptualient. Anyway, look at that face. It's definitely Shockwave with the single yellow eye peering out from a cloying, lightless void, and his adorable little radar ears. But also they gave him a tash. Not like a tash, a tiny additional second head. He's got an inexplicable tiny version of his own face on top of his actual face. Why? And like, could you not have painted it to match the box art? Come on, man, commit. Anyway, Shockwave's shoulders are looking dreadfully domineering with these pimpin' purple power pads. Armed to the hilt with a swivel and a tilt. Forearms are feeling a smidge scooped. Like, this one's got this sweet swing out needle gun, so I kind of get why there's a void there. But this other one just feels so empty inside. Same. And like the hand's just sculpted right in there, so no wrist action. But I love wrist action. Legs are also a bit Emptyville horror, but they just feel robust, man. Like the plastic's no joke, the hips are just alive. Love these powerful pachyderm pumps. And check out the silver pistol grip side panels. Also around the back he's hiding a subtle sculpted hinge, which is totally needless, but like just a nice little nod to the G1 toy. Clearly made with love. See, we're moving forward, but we'll never escape. He's also packing this giant back-mounted shoulder blade blaster, which sort of echoes G1 Megatron's gun barrel thing. And check it out, you just swing it up onto his shoulder and, is that firing now? I mean, I don't really like these kind of stylized projectiles, like, ooh, look out, Electroblast, shut up. And then it's like, this doesn't launch, and it doesn't even come out the front, it swings around the side. What? And you can't even, like, make it not do that. But you know what? It's a good time. So he's got a lot of gaps and a slightly naff weapon. There's no way he's not a quality little figure. He's just good old Shockwave, but simple and streamlined and with a bunch of weird new quirks. You know, like the tiny face on his head. And on his knob. Transformations, it's exactly what you think it is. So as far as alt modes go, Shockwave's kind of like Megatron in that he used to be a gun, and since then they've never really figured out what to do with it. So Shocko's modern life has mostly been just a series of indistinct purple piles of nothing. And I hate to say it, but this is really no exception. I mean, it's a tank, I guess, but like a walking spider crab tank thing, like those jerks in the Armada PS2 game that make you ragdoll out like a mug. And look, I wanna like it, I really do. I love the idea of them turning into a quadrupedal crawling tank monster that I bet Boston Dynamics are low-key working on. But in practice, I mean, it just looks like Shockwave doing an exorcist walk to freak out his mates. Or just Shockwave ragdolled out like a mug. Look, his face is even right there. Both of them. And like the limbs are so unbalanced and strange. And this flip over fire thing is, if anything, even weirder in this mode, because it just does the one. It feels like a fan mode. But, you know, I can't slag it off too much. At least it looks like something, not just a big gross pile of ugly, and it is quite good fun. At the very least, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. And maybe that's the point. So I don't know quite where I am with Cyberverse. I mean, I'm still ass deep in Generations for now, and I gotta say, next to those lads, it doesn't feel like that much effort has gone into little Shocky Dennis here. Like, he's harmless enough, and I do quite like him, but there's no way this is the definitive Shockwave. And honestly, I don't know how many more times I can buy all these characters. But look, it's for the youngins in it, and it's probably as good a place to start as any. And if there was ever an appropriate time to bust out the ultimate cop-out Hasbro apologist excuse line, I think Cyberverse is probably the one. Are you with me? I feel like I'm ready. And 3, 2, 1, it's just a bit of fun. Happy hunting.
Be sure to subscribe for more Theo's Awesome Transformers reviews. Limited appeal, keeping it real.